Hello and welcome to this guide on how to boost your FPS and fix any lag that you may be encountering whilst playing Destiny 2. We'll go through and show you how to apply the very best settings both for Windows as well as the in-game settings. If you're using an older GPU or a low to mid-range gaming PC, this guide will most definitely help you a lot. And if you're using a high-end PC, it'll still make a significant difference, but possibly not as noticeable, which is quite normal. Beyond Light launched into Destiny 2 with quite a large number of changes. Specifically, in short, Bungie enhanced the graphics and a lot of the lighting effects in preparation for next gen. These changes unfortunately have had a negative impact for quite a lot of the Destiny players on PC. From lag to frame rate drops to full crashes, the problems seem to be of all different kinds. Personally, I myself had quite a few problems, including crashes, but I did manage to find a simple solution, which was just a manual shader cache reset. I made a video that shows you how to do it. It's helped a huge amount of people, and the link for that video will be in the description. Now, if you haven't reset your shader cache, then I definitely recommend you go and do that first before you apply all the settings and all these changes that will be showcased in this video, because it will make a bigger difference. So go and do that first and then come back and do this. Now, before we go ahead and go through the guide step by step, I want to recommend a few things that will help towards better performance while you game. Firstly, I would say switch off every overlay while you play. I'm talking about the NVIDIA Geforce experience, Steam, AMD, and anything else that could be slowing you down while you play. Basically, the game will perform better if your system is solely focusing on running the game on its own rather than a bunch of different applications in the background, which in turn will definitely slow down your system and the performance of your system. To turn the Steam overlay off, just go into the Steam settings, click in-game, and untick the box that says enable the Steam overlay while in-game. And to turn off the NVIDIA Geforce overlay, open up your NVIDIA Geforce experience, click on settings icon, go to general, and switch off the in-game overlay. And basically, if you have any other apps like these, double check in their settings to make sure that they are off. Another quite important thing to do is if you have two or more screens, I would recommend that you switch them off and play on one screen only. You can do this by pressing the Windows key and P together and choosing PC screen only. Alright, so now let's go through the steps one by one. Step number one, the first thing you want to do is set the Windows game mode to on. To do this, in the search bar, type in game mode, click game mode settings, and make sure it's set to on. The game mode setting prevents system background activities such as Windows updates or notifications from background apps during gameplay, and ensures you avoid extreme slowdowns and low frame rates whilst you game. So to ensure a more consistent gaming experience, it is critically important that this is set to on. Step number two, within that same window on the left-hand side, click Xbox Game Bar. Make sure you set this to off. Then once again on the left side, click on Captures and ensure both background recording and recorded audio are set to off. The Xbox Game Bar is really heavy on your system, and it is another overlay that will undoubtedly slow down your system's performance while you play. For those of you that wish to record, I would recommend that you use the GeForce Experience app rather than the Xbox Game Bar, but it's of course up to you. Step number three, in the Windows search bar, type in graphics settings. Now in here, you will see an option for hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. This most definitely needs to be set to on, and if it wasn't, you will need to restart your PC after you turn this on. After you've done all that, go back to your graphics settings, navigate down to graphics performance preference, and you'll want to add Destiny to that list. To do this, firstly, minimize the window, open up Steam, go to your games library, right click on Destiny 2, click on properties, then click local files, and then browse. What you want to do is copy the directory link, which is where your game is installed. You can then close Steam down. Navigate back to your graphics settings window, click Browse, and you'll want to paste the link to the address bar at the top. Then find the application icon for Destiny 2 and simply add it to your graphics list. Finally, click on Options and then set it to High Performance and click Save. Step number 4. Go to the Windows search bar once again, type in Power Plan and click Edit Power Plan. At the very top, click Power Options, and under Preferred Plans, ensure that High Performance is selected. Step number 5. This step is only for those of you that have Discord running whilst you play. My recommendation is that you exit out of it completely, but if you need it for chatting with your buddies, ensure you switch off the overlay by going to the settings, then clicking Overlay on the left and making sure the Enable in-game overlay is disabled. Step number 6. So now finally we're going to load into the game and optimize the settings. We'll start with window mode, which of course for every game you should always set it to full screen for best performance. Resolution should always match your screen resolution. So if you have a 1080p monitor, you would set it to 1080p. The VSync setting, mine is set to on, which automatically caps my frame rates at 144 Hz, which is my screen's maximum refresh rate. Having this on stops screen tearing, which I absolutely hate, and just makes the gameplay experience much smoother. Field of view is best with a high number, as it will allow you to see more around you. However, the higher the number, the more strain you put on your GPU. So for low-end rigs, I recommend you set it as the default value, and for mid to high end, you can probably get away with having it set between 90 and 100, and obviously for those of you with high-end GPUs, for sure you should set it to 105, which is the maximum field of view in Destiny. For the advanced video settings, you will want to ideally match it to your NVIDIA control panel's global settings as much as you can. You'll also obviously want to experiment and tinker with the settings a little bit just to see what works best for your system. On screen now, you can see how I set mine. Most things, as you can see, are either off or on low. Things like motion blur and depth of field, you can definitely turn those off. You don't need it in a game like Destiny. The idea is to bring down that VRAM usage as much as possible, as it'll free up your GPU to focus on getting you the highest possible frame rates consistently while you play, which of course is tremendously important for those of you with lower end systems. And again, down in additional video settings, leave the resolution as 100%, turn off chromatic aberration and film grain, as you don't need those on at all. Basically, Destiny is a pretty well optimized game, so bringing your settings down a bit will not impact the beauty of Destiny all that much, but it will improve your frame rate and how smooth the game will run, which of course is more important than incredibly shiny graphics, in my opinion. And that's basically it for this guide. I really hope it does help some of you that may be struggling with Destiny. Leave any questions down in the comments, as I absolutely do my best to answer every single comment on my videos. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.
You have advanced. Zone A lost. Your enemy can't kill if they're dead.